This video is really going to help set the stage for you to skyrocket your performance. That cold shower hits me. It doesn't feel very good, but ultimately after that shower, I feel invigorated. What's up? It's Coach Ben from WODprep. WODprep is the place where athletes go to improve their CrossFit skills and increase their performance. And guess what? This video is going to help you increase your performance in CrossFit workouts. So if you're someone who doesn't think you're reaching your full potential in CrossFit, whether that's in your daily workouts that you're doing or overall on the leaderboard in somewhere like the Open or maybe some local competitions, this video is going to give you a three-part system that will help you improve your overall CrossFit performance. It's going to make those longer workouts. If you've ever struggled with a longer workout, starting off really strong and then barely crawling across the finish line, or if you're someone who can hardly make it through annoying movements like burpees and double unders and things like that, this video is really going to help set the stage for you to skyrocket your performance. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I am going to give you a free resource guide that is going to give you all of the sweet, juicy bits from this video condensed into one small package so that you can know exactly what books to read, exactly how to strategize, things like that. I don't want to give it all away, but it's a really cool resource guide, and I will give you the details on how to receive it at the end of this video. So there is a three-part framework that I want to share with you that will help you improve your scores or help you improve your workouts or help you win your workouts. Those three parts are efficiency, strategy, and mindset. We're going to go over all three. All three of those things make a great CrossFit athlete, and we're going to start with efficiency. So here's what I want you to think about. Imagine you're going for a run on a really nice track. So it's a brand new track. It's just a simple loop, and you can run around that loop and run for as long as you want. It's smooth, it's easy, it's efficient. You have running shoes on, you're dressed in running clothes, you're feeling good, the temperature's perfect. You can probably run for a decent amount of time, which for a CrossFitter is like, 200 feet or 200 meters maybe. So imagine that against going for a run on the beach in the blistering hot sun, wearing a really heavy rucksack on your back, or maybe even a buddy carry. If you compare the two, one is way easier than the other. Even though it's technically the same thing, you're running, going for that weighted heavy beach run is so much harder to do than going for that simple track run. So what I want you to understand is when it comes to efficiency in your movements, that is going to have a huge trickle-down effect into the performance of your workouts. So imagine you have a workout that has chest-to-bar pull-ups in it. Maybe you can do chest-to-bar pull-ups. So you have the big check mark that you can RX chest-to-bar pull-ups. Well, RX, or ability, does not equal efficiency. Efficiency is the key to maximizing your scores and your performance. Too often I see CrossFit athletes, they'll put the check in the box, maybe they can do chest-to-bar pull-ups, and then they're moving on to some new shiny object, but they failed to develop efficiency and capacity within that movement. So just like that running analogy, if you can do chest-to-bar pull-ups, but they're sloppy, there's lots of wasted swinging and ugly kipping and wasted energy, then it's like you're running with that heavy rucksack on the beach in the blistering sun. It's going to be really difficult. But if you're someone who's very smooth and efficient and you have no wasted movement, no wasted reps with your chest-to-bar pull-ups, then it's like going for a run with those running shoes, perfect temperature on a really easy track. So that's what I want you to mentally internalize when you are practicing for your CrossFit workouts. Oftentimes the main limiting factor, a lot of people think it's mental, a lot of people think it's programming, they need to take more supplements. That's definitely not the answer. They'll come up with a bunch of different reasons why they aren't doing very well in their workouts when ultimately it comes down to efficiency in each movement. If you can execute each movement within a workout smoothly and efficiently, then that is the first major key that will take your performance to the next level. So you might be asking, how do you improve efficiency? How does that work? Well, I can tell you one thing. You shouldn't just go to your normal CrossFit classes and expect to improve your efficiency a lot. Sure, it might happen, but if you really want to improve your efficiency, what you need to do is focus on one movement or one movement group. Practice it 2 to 3 times per week for maybe 8 to 12 weeks, and that those practice sessions should be maybe 20 to 30 minutes per session. That's it. That is exactly the framework that actually we use and all of our WODprep athletes use inside of our 8-week skill courses. Basically what we do is we take a movement like kipping pull-ups and we give you the exact drills, the exact reps, the exact progressions that you can use to piece together the full movement and become an efficient mover in the kipping pull-up. We have this for a bunch of other movements like bar muscle-ups, ring muscle-ups, double unders, all kinds of stuff. The key for you is you need to identify the main factors that are holding you back. What are the movements that you're very, very inefficient in? And then you need to spend dedicated time on your own, maybe off to the side, practicing to improve your efficiency. Once we have ability, so the ability to do a movement, So once you learn how to do your first kipping chest to bar, that's great. You have ability. Then the next level that we teach is efficiency. So that's developing the right movement patterns. So to get the ability, you might be practicing prerequisites, you might be working little drills and progressions that help you finally get the movement to click. Then once the movement clicks and you have the ability, you're going to move on to efficiency. So efficiency is where we're practicing macro movements. We're practicing full big position swings. We're practicing going from the hollow to the extended position. We're practicing the full chest to bar pull-up. And you might have a coach like one of our WODprep coaches analyzing your videos and giving you suggestions on how to improve. So we have ability, we have efficiency, and then last but not least, we develop capacity. So if you want to develop capacity, once you've checked the first two boxes, then you're practicing the movement while you're tired. You're practicing the movement with other stimulus. So a simple capacity workout for this example that I'm using, which is chest to bar pull-ups, could simply be 8 minutes, every minute on the minute, do 8 perfect, unbroken chest to bar pull-ups. That number doesn't mean anything, it can vary, but ultimately what you're trying to do is you're repeating the movement. Once you have your ability down, once you have the form and efficiency down, then you increase your capacity. So the moral of the story for this section, the ultimate missing piece for most athletes and the reason they're struggling in their workouts is they do not have efficiency in their movements. If you unlock efficiency, you will unlock better scores across the board without lifting a finger and without improving anything else. Next, it's time to talk about the second major aspect of improving your performance, and that's strategy. So coming up with a strategy for your workouts. If you've ever heard of this quote, if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. I have no idea who said it initially. I'm sure it's been bastardized and changed over the years. But the key that you need to pull from this is if you just go into each workout with the mentality of, I'm going to go as hard as possible, then you are actually leaving a lot of performance and a lot of potential benefit of CrossFit on the table. But if you strategize your workouts, understand the stimulus that you're supposed to get, and you can effectively move through all of those movements and get the work done that you're supposed to get done, you will see the most benefits out of CrossFit. So in that, I would highly suggest, we will include the link below, there is a blog post that we've released about how to properly pace yourself in workouts. It's a great post that my friend Todd wrote. Go and give that a read, and you'll probably notice that you fall into one of the key traps. Probably the most common trap when it comes to pacing and when it comes to strategizing is people just go all out right away. They see the workout, they start as hard as they possibly can in the beginning, and then their effort and their energy just declines throughout the entire workout. So what we want to do is avoid that, and the way we avoid that is by approaching each workout with strategy. So any good CrossFitter understands that there are nuances to each workout. Should you go unbroken the whole time? Should you try singles? Should you do descending rep schemes? Should you do ascending rep schemes? There are so many different things to consider when it comes to a CrossFit workout. It's very much like a board game. It's like playing chess. You have to plan your moves ahead of time, and if you don't, then you're going to get beat. So one thing that I always like to do going into each workout is I ask myself, what is the limiting factor of the workout? For a workout like Helen, for example, where we have running, we have kettlebell swings, and we have pull-ups. The kettlebell swings and the pull-ups are pretty easy for me, so they're not the limiting factor. The limiting factor for me in that workout is going to be the run. How quickly can I do that 400-meter run? So when I'm approaching this from a strategy perspective, I would try to make a couple promises with myself. I know that if I push a little bit harder than I feel comfortable on the run, that because of my efficiency and capacity for the kettlebell swings and the pull-ups, I will be able to be okay. But the run is where I'm going to have lots of negative emotions. It's where I'm probably inefficient. It's where I'm sloppy. But if you can take your strategy, have a game plan going into the workout, which for me would be unbroken kettlebell swings and unbroken pull-ups, then the only thing I need to focus on is that limiting factor, which is the run. So while you're strategizing, while you're trying to identify your rep schemes, what I like to do is I like to have athletes make a promise to themselves when it comes to the hardest movement. So let's say there's wall balls, or in this case it's running. Make a promise to yourself on how many reps you're going to do unbroken when you pick up the wall ball, or how fast and hard are you going to run that first run, or how hard are you going to run at the end. Basically, if you can make a promise to yourself and say, hey, I know that I'm probably going to run into a brick wall here, but I'm committing now. I'm putting my foot down, I'm putting my finger down, and I'm saying that I am going to do blank in this workout, and you can check that box and achieve that within the workout, then it's a huge win. So just like I said, there are a million different versions of CrossFit workouts. There's so many different strategies that can come into play. But if you identify what your limiting factor is going to be in the workout before you do the workout, come up with a strategy to attack that limiting factor and win that limiting factor, then you will see a great performance enhancement. You'll see a huge score improvement, and you'll have a lot more confidence in the middle of your workouts. But one quick note is that just like my buddy Mike Tyson says,
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Legs to the conqueror. No, I'm Alexander.
Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And that is the same with CrossFit. You might actually spend too much time strategizing and trying to calculate your reps and your sets and timing, and ultimately it could crumble in the middle of the workout. We've all been there. But a true master of CrossFit, someone who's always seeking to improve their performance, will continuously attempt to strategize and eventually will become a master of piecing together the perfect workout and knowing exactly how to hit it, how hard, how many reps to do, and that will turn you into a CrossFit master. So the third factor that I want to talk about is mindset. The best in the CrossFit game have the strongest mindsets. They have the strongest mental muscles. So there's a few things that I want to talk about when it comes to mindset. The number one thing, the first thing is you need to take your workouts one step at a time. Too often in my performances and then the athletes that I've coached, they will focus at the top. So let's say if I'm climbing a mountain, if you're always looking and saying, man, that summit is so far away, then guess what? It's going to really drain on you. Instead, what you need to do is focus on the task at hand. Focus on your next rep, and then the one after that, and then the one after that. If you're always looking way too far into the future, you'll get bogged down and it could destroy you mentally. Tip number 2 is positive self-talk. So while we're in the middle of a workout, especially a workout that doesn't have our favorable movements like burpees and running and double unders or whatever it is, if you're constantly letting negativity come into your brain and you're telling yourself, I suck at these, or I hate running, or running's stupid, or I should never have to use an assault bike ever, or burpees are dumb. I mean, we can all kind of agree on that. But if you're letting that negative self-talk come into your workouts, then your performance will reflect it. You've probably had a couple workouts where you feel confident, you're excited, you're pumped, and that enthusiasm and positive attitude carries through and gives you a great score. Well, if you're able to have that attitude, and you're able to have a positive attitude that says, I can always go a little bit harder. It's really not going to hurt that much to do one more rep. It's really not going to hurt too much to do one more set. Then that is the mindset that's going to really increase your performance in the long run. If you can accumulate one extra rep here, maybe do an extra couple wall balls in that set, and you do that over the course of several years, it's going to be like Josh Bridges. Josh Bridges says that one of the most important aspects of his CrossFit performance is winning that mental battle in the middle of his workouts. He's always making deals with himself saying, I can do one more rep, or I can run a little bit faster, or I can just do 2 more reps here and I'll be totally fine. So if you are consistently keeping that positive energy, telling yourself to go farther, that is going to really help you win the mental game. The next point number 3 for the mindset side of things is do hard things. So this is a mantra that I want you to internalize. If you consistently, day in and day out, expose yourself to tough things on purpose, then that is going to help sharpen your brain. It's going to help you win the mental battles in the middle of your workouts. So for a lot of you, maybe the only tough thing that you do on a consistent basis is going to CrossFit, and then everything else is really easy. Well, what I would challenge you to do, if you want to get better at CrossFit and start winning the mental battles in CrossFit, try doing hard things outside of the gym. So for me personally, one thing that I've adopted is I never hit the snooze button. It's really easy to hit the snooze button, but I never hit it. I've adopted a hashtag no snooze mentality. So every morning when I wake up a little bit earlier than I want to, I don't hit that snooze button. It's tough, it's hard, but when I started winning that mental battle, it started a domino effect that trickled into my workouts where now I can push through those mental battles because I've already pushed through outside of the gym. Another thing that I like to do is I personally take cold showers. So in the morning after I'm done working out, and I've worked out really early normally, I will take a really cold shower. Now, we don't have to get into all the details about exactly how I do it, and there's probably lots of imagery you don't want there, but the bottom line is I convince myself pretty much every single day, I convince myself, do I need to take this cold shower? No, I don't. It's gonna really, really suck. My body's gonna hate it. It's just gonna be terrible. But I convince myself, you're gonna be fine. It's not gonna hurt that bad, and you're gonna feel really good afterwards. And then I do it. I slam it to cold. That cold shower hits me. It doesn't feel very good, but ultimately, after that shower, I feel invigorated, and I can rest assured knowing that I purposefully did something difficult. That friction, that overcoming those mental barriers on a consistent basis, and hashtag doing hard things or do hard things on a consistent basis, it's trickled into my CrossFit performance, and now I can do hard things in the gym and out. And the fourth point on the mindset side of things is I want you to check your mental nutrition. What are you consuming? What bits of information are you eating or letting pass through your brain? So are you taking news? Are you scrolling social media endlessly? News tends to portray victimhood mentality. It tends to show nothing but negatives. Social media tends to only show the highlights of people's lives, saying, hey, look at me, look at me. Surrounding yourself with that envy, that negativity, maybe a bit of victimhood, that might not affect you right away, but over the long term, that is poor mental nutrition. So instead, what I would challenge you to do is to enhance your mental nutrition. Read books, listen to podcasts, surround yourself with people who have the right mental attitude, and it's gonna bleed over into your life and into your training. So if you would like, I have a full list of books. I'll list out a couple right here. Can't Hurt Me is a great one by David Goggins. It's kind of over the top, but man, it just shows you how strong the mind is. Another one is Chop Wood, Carry Water. I believe it's Joshua Metcalf who wrote it. And then there are a few other ones, Extreme Ownership. I also like to read Discipline Equals Freedom. And I also like to read Stephen Pressfield books in the morning. Ultimately, if you are consistently filling your mind with positive mental nutrition and good mental nutrition, it's going to sharpen you and it's going to bleed over into other areas of your life, including inside the CrossFit gym in the middle of your workouts. So if you would like a complete guide of all the resources that I talked about, including a list of books that I recommend for CrossFitters, an article about how you can pace yourself and learn to pace yourself in the middle of workouts, and a whole bunch more free information, go click the link in the description below. It's going to take you to a page where you're going to enter your name and email address, and you can get a cheat sheet for this video where I include all those resources and a bunch more free goodies that will help you increase your performance. Question of the day today, and this is something I really want to see in the comments below. After you've gone and signed up and joined to make sure you get the resource guide, I want you to write down below, what are your favorite mental, nutritious pieces of information? So what's your favorite mental food? It could be a podcast. It could be a book. It could be a song that you like to listen to. Whatever it is, leave it in the comments below. I would love, and the rest of the WODprep team and community would love to see, how do you feed yourself good mental nutrition? And remember, if you're someone who wants to improve the efficiency of your movement, be sure to go check out our 8-week training courses. The link is down below. And if you join one of our training courses, just know you're backed by 100% results or your money back guarantee. And they're 8-week step-by-step programs that will help you improve your ability and your efficiency and your capacity in all of the various CrossFit RX skills. So you want to learn bar muscle ups? We've got you covered. Want to learn ring muscle ups, or double unders, or maybe you want to unlock your shoulder mobility? Guess what? We have you covered, and it's all simple to do 15 to 20 minute sessions that you only need to do 2 to 3 days per week. So go join a WODprep course, and I promise you it's going to help you take your game to the next level. So I hope that you liked this video. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. And if you haven't yet, make sure you smash that subscribe button. As of shooting this video, we are right on the door of 100,000 subscribers. Once we hit that, we're doing a giveaway where we're giving away a CrossFit Level 1 certificate. More details on that, but we got to get to 100K. So smash that subscribe button, and then I will see you in next week's video. Peace.